Welcome to the land of pump and dumps, baby. Get your guitar out, MJ. Let's get a tune going. The saga of the pump and dump.
That sounds more like
Bitcoin.
a rap song.
Yo, motherfucker. Spy is kind of the funniest. Check this shit out of Bitcoin. Spy runs up like 1.25% or something, and then just literally dumps. You could see it coming too. Then dumps 3%. VIX goes up. VIX started pulling back. These poor people, they're just getting wrecked as shit. I bet Sazanoff is freaking losing trades. Because he don't trade that volatility. I don't know. Me and the asshole dictator used to bitch about him. Same stuff. But what are you going to do? I'll sit here. I'm going to eat some mango. I'm going to talk about volatility, probability, and statistics. Yes, sir. Well, once again, we find ourselves on the weekly chart. Once again, we have yet to pull back 30%, which is looking like we're going to get it. Or I'm thinking around 50K. I've got some stuff to show you on the other chart. But obviously, there's a lot of confluence, 51.5-ish, right in that area. But I think it's going to overshoot. I think it'll overshoot the top of this 68.3 here. Probably overshoot the first standard deviation, normal distribution to the downside on the weekly. That'll pretty much take care of the 30% move. I think it's actually at about 49. But I was counting 49, 51.5. What's the difference? What's the difference? It's only a couple 15-minute candles to Bitcoin. So we've pretty much done the 68.3 Laplace distribution range shuffle here so far this week. Pretty big range. Went up today. Let's go to the beer. Went up today. Got a little bit. Had a few rejections off the first standard deviation. That is the blue cross line right here. Had a few rejections. Let me back this up so I can think right. 23. There you go. Had a few rejections off of first standard deviation, and then broke through it. But in the long run, definitely rejected off of it. Came back down. Where did we come back down to? First, we bounced the candle off the top side of the 68.3 Laplace distribution range to the top side. Then we dumped down to the top of the new weekly range, 2 wicks to it. Pumped back up, candles closed, top side, 68.3 again. Came back down. Where did we bounce from that time? From the center of the weekly range. Popped back up. And obviously, you got the daily range right here in the middle of it all, right? This is volatility heaven right here. Lots of volatility. So then we reject down. We just bounced off the bottom side of the weekly. Right? The bulls are going to defend this area as much as possible, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think we're going to get a lower low, to be honest. Where's my water at? The way the volatility looks, anyway. The way this price action looks. Yeah. They're just shaking people to death right now. I mean, that's a hell of a move. You didn't take it. This is why when people don't take their profit, when they don't know where these distribution ranges are, when you see this, number one, if I was in this trade, I've got 2 sick dogs, so I'm not doing anything but cleaning up a liquid dog shit. But anyway, when you see this price action pumping here, I would have taken profit right here at the bottom side of the new monthly range. It's another thing that happened here. This should be a great cause of concern. We go up into the monthly and reject hard out of it. The bears are fiercely defending this area. Here's the middle, right? And remember I talked about yesterday. I said the middle of the monthly range, I said is going to be somewhere around 59. That was about 800 bucks off. That's not bad for a monthly. It was kind of tricky. But I said the bottom side was probably Did I say shit? I thought it was going to be $2,000 each way. This is actually only about $2,500 range, I think. So not that big at all for a monthly. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Now that I think back about it, I might have said the center of that monthly was a little higher. Now that I do remember, because I kind of remember saying, yeah, I said the downside of it was going to be at about 59. That I was close there, 58,430. It was the center where I was off a little bit. Yeah, if I remember correctly, didn't I say the center was going to be about 61 and the top side 63? Yeah, that's what I said. Now that I remember correctly. So yeah, it was a little off. The downside of the range, though, I wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad at all. So I would have taken profit at the bottom side here. And if you make it through there and you're still in the trade after all these wicks pushing down, you got bigger balls than I do. But you're definitely going to take your profit here at the first standard deviation. Most traders have no clue where the bottom side of the monthly volatility range for price action is, and they damn sure don't know where the first standard deviation normal distribution on the daily is. This is where we have a not one leg up, both legs up, right? It's like one of the stars over at the Bunny Ranch right down the street. Both legs up on the traders. Yes. Let's see here. Obviously, that wasn't enough. Must have shifted on it. There we go. We almost got down to this projection on the 15-minute. Almost got down here to the 99.7 Laplace distribution. If we bring this all the way back on the 15-minute, let's go back here to where the pump really started. Considering we bounced off the top of the weekly, we can start it back here. So let's do this, 43. Let's see what this looks like. Da, 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 da. Came out there. Boom. Okay. So yeah, we almost got to the bottom side of the 68.3 from this beginning move to the top side. And right, so no matter if you start it over here on the down move or up here on the up move, almost hit the 99.7 both directions. Powerful, especially if you're running this projection. You know where these levels are. It's just a no-brainer. Especially this candle's hauling ass towards 99.7. Your best bet's taking profit right there, right about 58.4. Just snatch that profit. 58.4. When that move start? 56.9. Not bad, right? $1,600 move. If you stayed in it all the way, you're definitely taking profit at the first standard deviation. But seeing all these candles on the 15-minute going sideways there, if I'm over here on the laser wolf chart, I guarantee I'm out of this trade. Variance is probably dictating to me to get the hell out of the trade. Let's see. Yep. And look where it stops having its outlier. Where did it stop having its outlier? Right here, right on this candle. Stopped having its outlier. So boom, taking your profit right there. This is how you use all this together. Just can't fail. Can't fail unless you fail yourself. And variance turns down, right? Move over. And at the same time right there, what are you printing? You're printing some bear div. Just pulled it sideways a little bit. But right here on this next little move up to where it did go a little bit beyond the first standard deviation normal distribution, it printed some hidden bull. All right, and then ran the rest of the way up. Boop, 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 boop. All right, and just here recently, right? I mean, pretty much from this whole move down, we've been printing bull div on the 15-minute, right? Printing bull div, but at the same time, it printed hidden bear. It printed some hidden bear right here, right? Boom, to run this baby right back down to the downside. Now bull div again, boom, boom, going back up to the upside. Let's see here. Hey, dictator's doing what the dictator's doing. Being a dick. We know somebody like that, don't we? Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, same time, right? Same time that move starts over here. Look at the entropy drop in the trend. Correlations to the upside. Correlation increasing. Literally goes beyond the standard error bands. So does entropy and continues to trend, continues to correlate to the top side. Beautiful move. As soon, literally right here, correlation goes sideways during those little doji candles there. Then it drops down below the standard error bands right about there. Entropy pops right up above the standard error band. Good time to get out. Good time to get out. Let's see. The chart I'm kind of looking at there. Let me show you something here. Let's go over here on the ultimate power mean. My concoction of the brilliance over here. Coders coded up this week, B. We're getting close. We're getting close to publishing this thing. Trying to add these deviation bands. You can see faint dots. Those are the deviation bands over on price action. Okay. I just have them in dot form, so there's not as much noise. I got the color. I've got the color toned down to about 50% too, and the width. And I have track price on. That's what these little lines are. Right. That's going to tell you. We're on the daily chart right here. First standard deviation, second standard deviation, third standard deviation. Same to the downside. 1, 2, 3. Right on the dot of today. So we're trying to get these. This code is so long already, it's madness. One of the longest ones I've ever seen. So he's going to try to put the deviation bands into the indicator. If not, we got a little surprise for the deviation bands anyway. We will be publishing them. They're going to be brilliant. I can't wait to this little addition to them too, little combo distribution action. So I think the Laplace distribution used this way is going to be very powerful when you're not hitting these deviation bands, these normal deviation bands, the 68.3 Laplace. I'm not going to be shocked. I know they're going to be getting nailed, right? Because the thing with trading, right? Log returns. One thing is, and I put it in the chat earlier, just answering somebody, is that the assumption is that they are normally distributed, but when it comes to an asset like cryptocurrency that is known to have fat tails, you need something bigger. You need Laplace distribution. Laplace distribution catches those big moves. Here, let me go over to the VRE. So, watch this. So right here, this is on Laplace, right? Start from this move up. Watch when I change this to normal distribution. Actually, it did not get outside. Let me make sure these are right. I don't think these are set up right. Dun, 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 dun. Give me a second. 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Drift, show midline. Why does that not make sense to me right now? Give me 1 second. 43 line circles normal. Laplace. Check this one when we get offline. I don't think that's quite right. This third standard deviation Laplace should be a lot higher than normal distribution. Okay, 1, 2, 3, midline. 63, 7. Damn, it says first, second, third standard deviation. That is interesting as hell. Let me show you something like this, right? We take PB2 right here. This is going to be this projection, right? I change this to normal distribution. Boom. See how that third standard deviation pulled down? That third on Laplace was way up here. You can see the dot where it starts, right? So for some reason on that 15-minute chart, but it has a lot to do with the volatility and stuff too. I don't know, man. Maybe that 3 Maybe the 99.7 on both of them are pretty close together. Just back on the plus. Whoops. That is the wrong one. Bilbo, get your shit together, buddy. Got a little more sleep last night, not much though. Got the mad crappers. Got the mad crappers. Let me go on the stream chat here. DC couldn't close to 59K. Is that what you think, Wolf? Wolf says this is not gonna go well. Well, it's, you know what, it's gonna go the way of volatility. It's not that it ever goes good or bad in trading. When you trade volatility, that there's no such thing as that, really, man. Right? You know that. I know it's just a play on words, but yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Well, the thing is, now the biggest issue was it didn't get to the center. When I saw it break above here, I was like, okay, maybe this thing's going to run to almost 60K again, right? 59.8. That's the center of the monthly range. It breaks there, it's going to the top, right? 61,245. But it did. Major rejection. First standard deviation had a lot to play. If this weekly volatility range was above up here somewhere, this thing would be doomed right now. And not even doomed. We're just going to go see some lower numbers. We still are. I'm not guaranteeing it, but from what I'm seeing, yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. We go over on this chart, right? Ultimate power means put it on a 2-day. And then I'm looking down here, and we literally have the reverse Fisher. Is it the reverse Fisher? And give me 1 second. Oh yeah, that's on the weekly deviation band. That's right. The reverse Fisher and the first standard deviation, sorry, on the 2-day are literally right on top of each other. 51,322 for the reverse Fisher, 51,266 for the first standard deviation on this 2-day, which closes tomorrow, correct? Yeah, tomorrow. So this thing flushes out. This is a high area of interest for me, right? High area of interest. And what's that going to do? It's going to create that lower low. This thing doesn't have to go to 50K. There's a lot of confluence down here. Look at this. So what is that again? 51,347. And then you go right here on the weekly, right at this little conjunction junction. What's your function? 51,750. They're right around 51.5. There's a shitload of confluence. 2-day and weekly. Weekly first standard deviation and projection to the top side of the 68.3 right here. And then on the reverse Fisher and the first standard deviation on the deviation bands, right? A little bit under. So it's like that 51.5 area is squarely right in between those two areas. So that's what I'm looking for. Anywhere in that range. It's like it might overshoot. But remember, I said that right in the beginning. I'm thinking that it's going to overshoot this area. So if it does overshoot, where's a good area to bounce? Right there. Right about 51.3. So this is what I'm looking at. If we do get a lower low here, let's go to the daily too. This is the problem, right? What do you see here when you're reading price action? I'm not talking about patterns. If you know patterns, you know what this thing is anyway. But patterns don't matter. Patterns break all the time because people see something like this, right? And like right here, they're like, oh, here we go. We're going to break out. Right? That descending broadening wedge, that's bullish. This thing's going to break out to the top side. They have no clue about volatility, right? They have no clue about volatility. And we create another, what do we create? Right here. This is not like, let's use Wolf's words. This is not going to go well for the bulls. You know how many people are over leveraged right now? Sweating it, guarantee it. You should already be out of the long time ago. So I'm looking for a lower low, right? And then we're going to have to reevaluate what the volatility is saying. Whoops. Let me go over here. Let's look at the volatility on the daily.
If anything, the last few days have really been a classic example of why you must take profits when you hit targets. Like the volatility is just delicious, but if you don't take profits, you're gonna get wrecked. Like, and you're
Oh
also
yeah.
missing out on profits for no reason. Like, doesn't make sense. Take profits early and often.
Yep. You've got the entropy on the daily. Start. It's still random, but it is dropping towards trend. Right. It's not in trend yet, but it is correlated to the downside. And the correlation is just teetering right there at the standard error band. So that's something to watch for. What's the 4 hour doing? The entropy wise, yeah, it's very random indeed. And what are we printing here, man? This is going to be a second stab, a bear div. And where did we reject from? That 4 hour reverse Fisher. It's the dotted line right there. Ouchie, ouchie, ooh, ooh. Boom. Got a little bit beyond it, but boom. Now we're right back in these power means. Right? We're right back in these power means that I'm using for overall trend. Right? They have a massive smoothing set to them. Correct? So they're not going to be exact. These are set as power means, but they're not going to. These are set regular power means, right? A 9, a 30, or a 9, a 21, and a 33 length power mean. One is set for price break, the 9. The other two are set variance colors. And so when the overall trend of these power means on this powerful smoothing I've got set up here, you want to take these trades to the downside. When the 9 has a price break and that log MA goes pink, you're waiting for the variance log MAs to go pink. They both do right here, so you're in the trade, right? You can literally trade the price break on that log MA. It's never the smartest thing to do, but as soon as you drop down below, the white dotted line is the central power mean set on a 33 smooth. As soon as you drop below that and you get this wick up and reject off of it to the dollar, that's almost a no-brainer what to do right there. And it would have paid off tremendously. And the variance MA, let's see, would have told you to take profit. And that's the lower length one. This is what I do. So the 21 is telling you to take profit on this wick right here, right? You could have taken profit here or here, but it lost is what the pink means is returns are below the mean and variance is rising. For on a 21 length, boom, then it goes into a little bit of indecision. But look at the 33 length right here. It goes into indecision right at the bottom. That's why I have both of these. You use both of these variance log MAs depending on how you want to take your profit, right? Depending on how you want to take your profit. The 33 kept you in this entire move. This is on a 4 hour. That was a hell of a move, right? This really works well when you drop this thing onto a 15-minute.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Although that move happened so fast on the 15. Here's how you want to trade it, right? You're going to have to look for some other avenues. When these MAs are spread out like this, it's going to be a whole different trading scenario. And I'm specifically talking about this trend machine we built here. If this is all you got, if this is all you're trading, you see how this works? You get the break and you get the 9 length right here changes to pink, and that's on price break, right? Well, I mean, look where the variance finally turns pink right here. You're not in the move. It turns pink right about here, right? You miss most of this move. This is not when you want to trade this indicator, when they get tight like this, right? When price action's going sideways and you're getting ready to have a breakout, right? This is what you're looking for. Okay, so right here, price break. The 9 goes blue, telling you this thing's going to start trending to the top side. Look at both of the variance log MAs. The 21 goes blue right on this candle. The 33 goes blue on the next candle. Now you have the 9 trending blue, and you've got both variance log MAs on this candle right here telling you, okay, now returns are above the mean, variance is rising. Look where the 21 tells you to take profit, right at the top. So that's how this should be traded. When they're spread apart like this, it's a lot harder to trade. It's a lot harder to trade. You want to wait until these things are real close. Like once again, right here, right here. It's already price break on the 9s way down here. You're waiting for the variance though. And right here on this candle. So you could get in that trade right there. And they're both. The next candle, the 33 goes blue. But you could just trade the 9 into 21. Pretty cool indicator. And I'm still working on it. Yeah, you go on the daily and it's just, especially this ribbon, the way this ribbon just catches trend and bounces price this whole way up. Right? And the freaking variance log MAs in the price break log MA, I mean, they're just in and out. You're taking profit. You're getting out. You're getting. I mean, it's a very powerful indicator. I can't wait to release this. It's going to be really neat. So, yeah, you just can't say. You can't really say. Let me read what Wolf's put in here. Yeah, you can't really put a number on something like that and say, well, hey, if it closes below this number, it's going to go down like a lead balloon. No, man, you cannot say that. Cannot say that. You got to play the volatility. You got to play the volatility. You're talking 56.5. You're talking below the weekly. I'm telling you, man, that this is where you can get wrecked trading like this because we're going to go into tomorrow. Are we going to break this range before the close today? We could. I seriously doubt it because of the bounce we're having down here and the bull div on the 15-minute. Could though. We go into the new day right here though. You're going to have like the bottom side 68.3 down here somewhere. Hell, it could bounce off that distribution level and shoot right back up through the weekly range. That's why all you can do is trade the volatility, trade the variance, right? When you're trying to get into a position and you're just saying, well, if it closes below here, this thing is going to zero. I mean, you're going to get wrecked. Or if it closes above here, right? Like right here. Oh, we closed above the weekly range. We're going to the moon. Wrong. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. Now, does it make it easier if we get down here and close? If we get down here and close, I'm not looking for it to drop like a lead balloon. I'm looking at distribution levels for bounces. That's what I'm looking for. Just like up here, when it broke above the weekly, I'm looking for distribution levels. I'm looking at the monthly range, right? But I said yesterday, if somehow Bitcoin can work its way up here the rest of the week, right? Because I'm pretty firm believer at this point, we go down and we test that area on the 2-day, it could bounce from there and we could end up being above 61.3, right? And we get up here. Because what Bitcoin really needs to do is get the weekly range for these weeks coming up in this month and get the new weekly range like on week 2 or week 3. Hell, maybe next week if this thing just starts pumping the brakes off, get a weekly range above the monthly. Stair stepping those dailies up every day. That's what we want to see. We just got to play these volatility ranges and the distribution levels and just watch how this thing ebb and flows, watching the volatility, the ABZ. watching that historical volatility, the z-score of historical volatility, watching the entropy. What's the entropy telling you? Is it random? Are we trending? Right? So if you're saying if it's going to drop like a lead balloon, you got to have more than just that to back it up. You're going to want to see entropy like on the 90-minute, the 4 hour. You're going to want to see it start trending with correlation to the downside, and that correlation increasing and busting through the standard error bands. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Comes back to geometric Brownian motion, which is so hard to explain to people. It's incredible. The shit's all random. That's why we use entropy.
Yeah.
It's the only damn reason why we use shit like this, is so we know when it is trending. Because when you have a trending move, hey, we're breaking out of that randomness and we are going into trend. Which way is this trend going? I want to be on the right side of it. Is there divergences? What's playing? Like right when this entropy started trending to the top side here. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Well, it was coming off from the bottom right here of some bull div. And this is on the daily, right? And I'm messing with my lengths all the time. So if your return oscillator doesn't look like mine, that's why. But best case scenario, if you're just looking to make some money, you're looking to scalp the delta, trade the variance, trade the variance and the correlation. Get your returns oscillator set low, right? So it's reading shorter term divergences. So you know when you're going to get these little bounces, right? Like right here, you get this hidden bull, boom, man, thing freaking popped like crazy. Boom, right there, that hidden bull. And then another stab right here that pulls this back up. And that did not create any bear div, but what did happen right about here, you have a outlier variance significantly negatively correlated. You could have got a nice move there. 100%. And how? So you see how you get this outlier right here, significantly negatively correlated, right? It's negatively correlated. Right here, it goes positive correlation right when it loses that outlier. But look at the variance. Variance is coming down, positively correlated, right? So price action continued down. And these two big 15-minute candles right here, variance started to turn back up, had another outlier right when the correlation broke negative again, finished the move out. And look at this whole trend, down here, right? I guarantee you, I pull back here, you're going to see, let's see where the heck. Dun, dun, dun. What was that move? Even back farther, isn't it? Yep, there it is right there. This is all it right here. See all this correlation? It dropped in and out of trend here hard. So look at this whole move every time. Outlier, significantly negatively correlated, right? Goes into positive correlation as variance is coming back down. Have another outlier to the downside, negatively correlated, significantly positively correlated. Variance turns down again. Correlation goes back up positive. Price action continues to walk down. Then you have another outlier, significantly negatively correlated. Price action continues down again. You see over and over again. This whole move, the variance was telling you exactly what was happening. It's a beautiful indicator.
Yeah, and by the way, like we always say like you should look for multiple confluences when you're doing these trades. But like even if you have three, or like let's say AVR and RO and the Wolfsbane, like he was just pointing out, if you even just have those three, you have a really powerful set of information just on that. Even if it's if you can't handle more than that, that's a really strong set of information right there that you could run trades off of. I mean, just look at the results right there. It's staggering. Candle by candle. These tools work. Either they always work or they don't work at all, the way we look at them. And they always work. And that's why we use them.
Exactly. Like he said. Like he said. Let's see here. Um, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we get more bull div. I don't know if this thing's going to break to the downside here yet before the close of the day, just because it's in this weekly range. And you can't forget that here's all the daily price action. So where's the new daily range going to be? That's probably going to get tested. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if price action runs back up to where it's going to be at, which is probably going to be right in this area. It's not going to change much, to be honest. Daily range is not going to change very much. The one thing it could do is tighten up a little bit. You could see one of those where the daily range just whoop, crooks up, down, crooks up, center stays the same. It just tightens up the daily range. It's going to be real close in there. Real close. Hold on here.
By the way, to anybody new listening to us for the first time, or watching Bilbo do his amazing analysis with these amazing tools for the first time, we have a really awesome Discord full of really awesome traders who actually are helpful and love to help other people figure out how to trade properly. So check us out. The link is in the Discord, is in the description below. Yeah.
Second here. And I did read your just had to check something real quick, Sarah. Give me a second. I was setting it up, but I got so much shit on my mind right now. All right, Sarah wants a live we can do on this recent one here. Let's do this down move. Want to do it from right here and watch the variance. It was just so much better back there. Let's see here. Tighten this up. Let's say, let's see, let me move this real quick. There we go. Let's, yeah, start on this bar right there. Okay, now you're going to want to watch the variance and the correlation. And this is a move I just talked about where it just kept going significantly negatively correlated, going into variance coming back down positively correlated, and how the price action just kept dipping.
I love replay. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's a very useful tool for people to learn with.
Nice, Andy. Just read your message. He's excited. He's here. Was here. He's already gone.
Oh.
Was.
The kangaroos got him.
Could have barely possibly did. Very possibly. But it's really good too to do it. And obviously we're way by how we did the up move. But yeah, you get the gist of it. But it's good, like if people if you want to see how these indicators work, like we just had a goofball leave the server, right? That literally has no clue about volatility trading, comes in, gets the pro chart and the few indicators that go along with it, and then tells one of our other members that brought him over here that I back tested their indicators. They don't work.
Over 2 days.
Over a couple days. Number one, you don't back test these indicators. There's nothing to back test. They work. They're 100%. But do you think he even used replay? Do you think he checked out to even see how the indicators worked? No, he doesn't even know how to read the indicators, but then says he back tested them and they don't work. That's hilarious to me. Those are the type of people. Hey, if you're out there, if you're watching this YouTube video, we don't want you anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you for the donation, friend.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Keep being on the other side of volatility traders' action.
Yeah.
We could care less. We're here to help people. If you don't want the help, hey, man, go trade the way you were trading before. Obviously, if you're out looking for something new, it's working out for you. So what are you going to do? I'll sit around. I just gave the dog some yogurt, get some acidophilus back in them. But holy crap. Projectile pooping is what I like to call it.
Feed him some rice.
I did.
Yeah.
I have last 2 days. That's why I'm like, oh my God. They probably caught something at the dog park.
They caught the Oma dog variant, hopefully not.
I'm gonna make him some I'm gonna make some tea. Some like oregano, thyme, basil tea. Make it sweet with some agave so they'll drink it up.
Hey, does anybody, by the way, does anybody want to like look at some alts or something? You want to look at some alts, or you're not at all in the mood for?
Screw those shit coins. No, we can.
But Solana, Cardano.
No, we can definitely. We're not going to look at Fluffy McCuck, but I'll definitely look at Solana because it's up nice.
Remember how popular Link was about a year ago?
Oh yeah.
All the rage. Yeah.
Don't forget that DOT.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That'll be next.
2021 has seen a lot of promising stars rise and fade a little bit for now.
Yeah. Look at, so here's the little trend machine on the daily for Solana. Yeah, it looks a lot better on Solana, right? It's let's see. It came down and tested pretty much to the dollar, the bottom side of these freaking the power mean band. Bounced from there.
Yeah.
Almost got to the reverse Fisher. Yeah, what's this look like on the 4 hour? 4 hour, you're gonna see some, lots of good trade. Outlier. I mean, look at all these outliers. One to the downside for Solana, downside for Solana, upside, upside. Upside.
And every link on AVR literally doing what it said it was going to do.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
It's just amazing.
But at the same time, look at Solana. I mean, holy shit. Just look at the returns oscillator. Lots of bear and hidden bear. Right? Lots of bear and hidden bear. And right now, in this big, powerful move, you got like the second stab of bear div right here. This thing could come down hard, especially BTC drops. Solana's going to get hammered. Solana will drop big time. It's been riding up the Gaussian mean here too. It's getting ready to break it to the downside. Wow, it dropped. Here's the thing, as Solana, it dropped in the trend, but right when the correlation was just going flat. So is what could happen. This baby could go negatively correlated and drop back down into trend and push towards this bottom standard error band again. That'll be ugly.
Well, the sellers will like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not even enough history on the 2-day for chat. So let's look on BRE real quick, and then I'll go over and look at DOT too. Woohoo! I mean,
Oh, yeah.
this is why we need a screener. Van, you in here? We need a screener that will read a number of assets, let's say 30, to tell you how, like if a daily price action volatility range is within a certain percentage, right? Look what happened. This is Solana. Look how tight the range was.
Yep.
Man, this thing launched right off of it.
Yep.
Launched right off that bad boy. And where's the monthly? The new monthly range. Oh yeah, I looked at this yesterday. If I remember correctly. Let's see something. Where are you? Yep, there it is right there. So here's the new monthly range center, 217. Kind of busted right up through the downside, came back on these 15-minute candles, tested the downside of the monthly range, tested the downside of the monthly range. It just happened to be the top side of the 68.3, bounced up there, got above the middle of the monthly. All right, couple little bounces, boom, retest, launch, got above the first standard deviation, then broke up to the top side of the weekly R1. R2, yeah, R1. That's the weekly R1. Got a little bit up above it. Oh, and dropped all the way back down, bounced to the dollar off the first standard deviation, and then rejected perfectly off the daily 95.4 Laplace distribution. Now it's back down here, right on top of the first standard deviation normal distribution. Sure, people just watching are like, how in the hell does he know what all those lines are? As I stare at this damn thing way too much.
Actually, you kind of memorize it.
Yeah, 100%. But while you're figuring it out, what's it gonna do? Turn the labels on. It'll tell you exactly what everything is.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. So Solana has literally and this is, I do remember looking at this. I mean, is that a test? That wick right there? It could be. I mean, when we're talking about a weekly range, I've seen weekly ranges not get fully tested, but get within a certain percentage, and that's definitely within that certain percentage. If Bitcoin does dump, though, you're going to see Solana down here testing this weekly range. No doubt about it. You're going to see it back around $2 probably. Nah, it's not that bad actually. 202 is the bottom. 203.
Yeah.
So interesting. Making another charge though. I mean, it's going to be good for Solana to close above the 1SD, but this is going to have a lot to do with Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin do here? All right. Does Bitcoin go lower? I'm not saying we have to get a lower low. I'm just saying it. I'm looking at areas of confluence, right? Like I put, I think it was Bilboism 189 earlier in the chat, right? Where correlation equals causation. I'm looking for correlation that will create a cause and effect, right? I want to see areas of interest where there is a lot of correlation. Because when there's a lot of areas of correlation, you could see price action. It's like a magnet. It could go down there 100%. And that's to both sides. So Bitcoin dumps out. I'm looking for that weekly projection and weekly first standard deviation to the downside range, and the 2-day deviation band and reverse Fisher. They're all within about $300 of each other, and that's pretty damn close. And we're talking weekly and 2-day time frames.
Yeah, VRE. I mean, this VRE chart makes things,
Huh.
so blatantly clear in so many ways from a big picture point of view. Kind of like tracking how assets are moving through.
There's dot. Oof.
You can look at any assets, and it's just
okay.
mind-bogglingly accurate.
I mean, this is good. Let me turn off this PV. This is good. Good on dot actually, Donnie. I mean, what did it do? Came down here, fully tested the new weekly range, right? Well, I mean, yesterday it blasted through it. Now we're coming back down. This is exactly what Bitcoin did, right? Bitcoin shuttled up right through. You would probably see DOT and Bitcoin right now pretty highly correlated, where Solana and Bitcoin isn't as correlated just because of what it's doing. Pretty much DOT and Bitcoin both pumped and came back down to their weekly range, which isn't a bad thing. There's a lot of freaking volatility down here. There's a lot of support, big time. But I mean, DOT pretty much opened up, almost went to the top side of the 68.3 and almost down to the first standard deviation. Probably would have hit. If you would have seen the bottom of this weekly range down here by the first standard deviation, this price action would probably be down here testing. But the bottom of this weekly range right here, the algos are there going, give me some. I'm going to buy right there. And now, dot.
Targets.
Where are you, bugger? Hello. Dot, 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 dot. There you are. Not Doge, that little shit coin. Just sticking at 20 cents, driving all the Doge monkeys crazy. What are you gonna do?
Meme them.
Let's see here. What's going on? I mean, on the daily, Dot's working off this bull div, right? But and there's no hidden bear, so that's good. There's no hidden bear building. But at the same time, right? Look right where the move kind of got stifled, the correlation for the returns oscillator decreasing, right? Decreasing correlation. So that's why this kind of on top of, it bounced right back up to this log MA on the daily. Rejection, 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 dump, rejection. So it's rejecting off of that 9 log MA that's set on price break. Then you've literally got the you got the 21, the 33 has been returns are below the mean and variance has been rising whole time. It hasn't broken yet, right? So if you were to get in that trade back here where the 21 did it, it would have told you to take profit at the bottom of this candle. That's why I have the 2 lengths. So you look, okay, it went into indecision, but hey, the 33 telling you to stay in it. And that's what this indicator's for. We're giving people an opportunity. We're trying to build something. So, hey, you don't want to learn how to read the volatility, right? Learn how to read the variance. Returns are above the mean or below the mean. I mean, returns are above the mean or below the mean, and variance is rising or falling, right? Or are the returns above the mean and variance is coming down? That's what all these different color mean. And when we publish this indicator, there's a nice little chart that's going to tell you exactly how to read them. So this is going to be for all you trend traders that want to trade with trend and know what's going on with the log returns, the mean, and the variance. That's what this is for. All right. Just trying, people coming over from other areas want to create a little familiarity with them, right? They know what wave trend is. They know what Fisher transform is. And most of them have no clue that there's reverse functions that we've built, right? And so when you get a reverse wave trend, a reverse Fisher, you've got the ribbon that you guys have no idea. There are so many settings of this. It's insanity. It's insanity. Here's a little Let me show you how many different settings just on the, well, hell, the whole damn indicator. But if you go to ribbon type, what kind of ribbon type you guys want? Kudos to the coders. This thing is incredible. It's got everything under the damn sun you can think of. There's so many damn settings. Same thing as smoothing. There's all kinds of different smoothing features, right? So
They
yeah.
really put work into it. Yeah.
Oh, it's only 1,300 lines of code. It's a small indicator.
When you consider they're building this, I mean, they have real jobs, you know, and they're actually building these things on the side.
I would already lost my mind. I can't stare at lines of code like that.
Yeah.
It's hard enough just changing short titles and changing colors and changing spelling in the code and doing things like that. I'm just like, okay,
We're definitely
there's
fortunate.
no way I could be a coder. Yeah. Polkadot Fisher, even the higher length Fisher is turning up. Is turning up as we speak. So that's coming back up to above the second standard deviation band, getting back inside of it, and the lower length's crossing up its MA. You know what? So yeah, that's Polkadot in a nutshell. I mean, obviously, man, everything's going to follow Bitcoin, depending on what Bitcoin does. There's going to be some outliers. Especially in gaming and stuff. You see Bitcoin really dump, hell, people could be taking profits from that Bitcoin that they just made and slamming it in some of these into the metaverse, right? Where magic internet money is really magic internet money. Exciting. This is one thing I want to check here, though.
The metaverse.
We're back on Bitcoin. I want to look at the. So down here too. I mean, the dictator down here is definitely same thing as Polkadot, right? Same thing as Polkadot, and this is great for trend. The dictator and the ultimate power mean, these two together, if you're a trend trader, super powerful indeed. And so, but coming from trading volatility, it's like I look at the volatility, I see what the variance is doing, and then I'm going to be like, okay, now that I know what's going on with the volatility, what's the trend doing? How powerful is this volatility move? How long is this going to last? What's going to happen? That's how all this works together, right? And I know I know there's one person out there, I know he watches our videos because he's a psycho and we're renting space in his head for free. And I'm sure he's just like, oh, look at these guys. They're building traditional TA crap. It's like, you moron. We build indicators that work, right? We trade volatility, probability, and statistics. And we're building some trend stuff. It all works together. And this is coming from people, they don't even trade, but they'll have their opinion, right? They'll always have their little opinion. That's what they do well. They have their opinions. And when they do trade, they're pathetic. Pathetic. They might tell you they make money. They're bullshitting. Let's see here. That's what I want to look like. What about the 2-day here? Pretty sure the 2-day, the dictator was turning up too. We even named an indicator after him. He should be happy. That's why I use these two lengths together. I mean, the low length's turning up down here, turned up right at the second standard deviation band. But until it crosses that MA and you really see the higher length of dictator turn up, got to be careful. Got to be real careful. And we're coming off this bull div on the 2-day, right? But look at the correlation. Correlation's flashing right now. It's the correlation has dropped to pretty much zippo. There is no correlation right now. So, and it's literally telling you, hey, that this move is over. This is not correlated one way or the other, right? There's definitely not positive correlation between the read on the returns oscillator and what you're going to see in price action. The returns oscillator is going up. Well, that's why we're getting stifled here. And look where we're getting stifled. That is the 33. Yeah. This is the 33 variance log MA right here. Right. And it's set to a power mean. Right. It's a log MA set to a power mean that has a variance colors. These are great little indicators right here. You can do so much with them. It's just mind-boggling. When you first get into the settings, you'll just be like, I give up, I need help. Because there's so much. But that's what we're here for, to explain it to you. So yeah, 2-day. Go over it again, right? The reverse Fisher. That bad boy is at about 51.9. So we're talking 51.9 down to where that's at about 59.3, and that 51.5 is right in between it. That price action, if we do get a dump, it's going to be somewhere down in this area, probably creating another lower low and actually blasting through more than people think it's going to do. You got your people drawing your lines. You draw your little freaky line. Look where your little freaky line's going right to, a little bit below the Fisher. Funny. But anyway, that being said, if you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, you're probably a little blown away. You've probably never seen anything like any of this stuff, right? This really isn't. Now, you've heard of Fisher transform, right? That's what our dictator is. We've got some lines here, right? They look familiar. These are log return moving averages, though, right? The coloring is a lot different. Literally the coloring on two of these is telling you what the log returns are doing. Log returns above the mean? Are they below the mean? Is variance rising or is variance falling? Right? But it also tells you, it'll tell you like log returns are above the mean, variance is rising. You're going to see a massive pump. If log returns are above the mean and variance is coming down, right, you're going to probably see some sideways action. And then when they're white, there's a little bit of indecision. So yeah, powerful little indicators. But we trade volatility, probability, and statistics, and we love to teach people to do the same. The link to our Discord's in the description of all of our videos. When you come into the server, follow the welcome message, open up a support ticket, tell us what you're thinking, leave a comment, or you can just sit down there like a bump in a log and be on the other side of our trades for eternity. We really don't care. We're here to help you if you want some help. That's all we've got to really say. But at the same time, we're not begging anybody. We're organically growing, right? That's what we do. We got a nice tight-knit group of volatility traders. That's just the way we like it. I want to thank everybody for watching live in the Discord. That's a perk of being a member of the Discord. You get to watch these live streams when they are happening. You don't have to wait till they come out on YouTube. Although our video processing editor / MJ is pretty damn quick. If he's not out buying NFTs and ruining his life. But that's all good. He suckered me into it. I don't know what I'm going to do. If I fail, it's all MJ's fault.
Lazy buddies.
No, NFTs, good action in NFTs. Find a good project. Hold them. It's not like flipping shit coins, man. NFTs are a long-term hold. That being said, wherever you're at in the metaverse, enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. We will see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you guys.